also found out that I am also entitled to make motions if no one else, makes the motion. I can't make that motion. So just kind of checking into some of that stuff. So if that's okay with the council, I appreciate it.
Okay, fine with me.
Very good. Thank you. First on the agenda will be Sheriff Lambert.
We had the county, law enforcement in general, plus dispatch and all that, has been talking about this interactive. We've got a contract where we can start getting the deal going, things like that, just going to have to switch all that over. Last time I was here, they had advertised for 60,000.
We just advertised it. But don't decide now.
Is this the interact with the grant that we're getting? Or?
Well, the interact with the grants for the jail.
Well, this is for the jail, not for the
The
police car.
60,000 is separate. And that would be for the cars, the computers in the cars, and to get them set up. And then there'd be a year contract will also take that. So what I'm looking at is to see, are we ready to get started? Because I can sign the contract, and it's going to send it to them when we're ready to get started. This is that 60,000 something that's going to happen. So that's kind of why I'm here. Find out you guys' feelings on it, because the 60,000 has to be approved yet by you guys. It has to.
We talked about this last time.
So we're just saying we go ahead and pay the 60,000 up front, and when the grant comes in or whatever. No, we don't.
No.
This is in addition.
This is an
Yeah,
addition.
this is in addition, because with that grant, $100,000 grant for ticket money, that goes for the dispatches and it goes for each department's in that aspect. Plus the jail's included in that too. The question is, can I go ahead and get started with the jail stuff, even though the 60,000 hasn't been approved yet? That 60,000 is not going to be used for jail. But I need to know, I want to get started on it, and that money doesn't affect what we're going to start on. But should I wait until that 60,000 has been approved, or go ahead with what we got? The money's there for what we want to do.
Approved by who? Us?
It was the grant, the 100,000 grant.
We're going to do it anyway, right?
The 60,000 you need to, I've got an additional, for the 60,000 is to pay for the computer equipment for the cars. The grant's going to take care of the jail. Am I saying that correctly?
The 60,000 is going to cover network upgrade, laptops, printers, vehicle ramming, and the data information. So that covers all that. But then your jail's going to be separate of that, not all that's going to come out of it, which is going to be part of that $100,000. But is I saying it right? No, I ain't saying it right? Go ahead and speak then. I brought my technician, the whiz guy.
The 100,000 from the grant takes care of the software itself for all the agencies in the county, the sheriff's department, and the new software that is to be run in the jail that will then interface with, so that everybody gets that information also. The 60,000 is to take care of, like Donnie said, the laptops, the mounting, printers, that work in the cars, and to bring our network in the jail, server, desktops, everything up to the standards to work with the new software.
So the 60,000 is for hardware?
It's basically, exactly. The 60,000 is for the hardware to run the software that was just approved through the grant money.
Well, we haven't had any meetings on that grant for a while, so I'm coming. Also, no contact, so I'm just.
That's done. That's done. As a matter of fact, that's what the contract he was referring to is in here. We had what turned out to be a 4-hour meeting over at last Thursday. That's all approved, and like you said, once Donnie signs that, then at that point they start initiating the implementation of the software, and as far as to the city and all of that, where our part is we've got to get the hardware first before we'll be able to take advantage of the new software.
Well, I'm not in favor of this. It needs to be done. I'll entertain a motion.
Oh,
What fund is that
We've
advertised?
taken out a Q cap, but there's also rolled into this, the motion I need from you also includes bulletproof vests and additional jail operating of $3,700 that we talked about last time, a little bit, but this had not been advertised. There was some
Okay, I thought we
confusion.
talked about that last time, yeah.
So the motion I need is on $63,700 from Q cap, which is $60,000 for the computer, $700 for bulletproof vests, and $3,000 for jail operating.
So we're approving this based on the proposed advertising. Hasn't been advertised yet,
It
right?
has been advertised.
It
So
has
what
been.
I
I'm
need-
sorry, okay.
So what I need,
I didn't give the additional appropriations this time.
I didn't either.
None of us
oh,
did.
sorry,
I
I'll
saw
tell
that
her.
they weren't.
Okay, yeah, just tell her.
Okay.
Is that the only one we have today, or we have several?
No, there's-
Okay, so we've got that
No.
one. Okay.
So the additional on here is for $63,700, $60,000 total, so $60,000 of it that's requested is for the Interact computer hardware, $700 for bulletproof vests, and $3,000 for jail operating expenses. So when you make your
All out of
motion,
Q-Cap.
all out of Q cap.
I'll make a motion on that.
Barb makes a motion, seconded by
I'll second.
Bonnie. Both Bonnie.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Motion carried. Anything else?
one more thing. The commissary money, we've used that for flowers like at funerals and things like that. And it's all been pretty, the auditor said get with the commissioners, make sure they're still good with it. Then the commissioners said get with you guys, make sure you're good with it. Do you guys have a problem with me using, like when Jackie passed away, we do flowers, we pay for flowers on the commissary? By law, you can.
This isn't county money anyway. Is it coming out of the
Well,
machines?
it's,
Or is that what it is?
this is commissary monies from the inmates that we collect when they buy candy or
Yes,
things like that.
yes.
So it's legal to do that?
It's legal to do that, it's just that they said make sure you guys are all clear and all that.
And you keep an accounting of that.
Yes, yes, so.
I think that's a good way to use it.
That's
Sure.
all I got.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Barb.
Guys, thank you guys.
And-
We'll give you a tour of it when it's done.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds good.
Not official. Thanks.
Get to work.
Good afternoon. I come representing the County Extension Office, number 2 Extension. We have had in our office a summer assistant who has worked with us for 5 years. She's been a great employee for us. This year she has graduated from college, and we would like to elevate her to a program assistant status, give her some additional responsibilities, and therefore we would like to seek authorization to pay her $10 per hour. Last year, we asked for the $7.65 per hour, and we are not asking for an additional appropriation. We know the fund is set at $5,500, but we would like to allocate it at $10 per hour versus the $6.75 per hour due to the increased work responsibilities and the elevation to a title of program assistant.
Plus she's college grad. She's college grad.
She graduates.
Is it
This
still
week.
going to be considered part-time?
We would still like to have it full-time hourly, if possible, if that meets the classification. She has worked 40 hours, but just the seasonal time
Yes.
before. So we would like to have her as a 40 hours times $10 per hour. And when this money is expended, we have a contingency plan if she stays on with us past the summer, is kind of where we're at. So she would be a full-time employee, but hourly, if that's allowable.
Would she get benefits? That's what I was asking.
What would be the maximum where that would not be an issue?
Is it going to be temporary, just
Yes.
summer? So if it's just going to be during the summer, it would be benefits.
She might work a little further into the fall while she's looking for a job,
Sure.
but we're not looking at this point for a
Okay.
full-time, long-term situation. Sorry, I didn't understand exactly.
That's all right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I make a motion to approve that. The $10 an hour.
Was there a cap on that? Do we have to amend that?
$7.65.
So we'll have to amend, you've got it done. Okay, great.
What will her responsibilities be? You said,
She's actually helping to prepare actual portions of the fair. She's been with us for like 5 years. So we can assign her, would you get the so-and-so and so ready? And without any supervision, without assistance, she is capable of doing those type projects now. She's learned over the last several years. And so we're upping the number of requests that we're making for her in those responsibilities.
She's there throughout the fair?
Yes. She's been a terrific employee, and we're just ecstatic that she wants to come back. So we wanted to entice her to spend one more summer with us.
Who is it?
Ashley Niehaus. She's been with us for a long time.
So the board has a motion on the table to accept. Do I hear a second? Chair seconds the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
And what's the effective date of this?
Motion carried.
Boy, I don't know if she entered into her paperwork yet
Has she
for this.
started?
She just worked about 3 days, but she officially starts as soon as she's finished with that. That would be very soon, like, I can get her stated.
Well, can I make the effective date today?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know her graduation date per se.
Because it won't matter once it's effective.
That's perfect.
She graduated out of Purdue?
Actually, no.
No? Where from?
She is at
USI?
USI.
Or
Evansville, U of E.
U of E, I think.
Sorry, U of E, Evansville. All right, thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Susan Hickey. New ambulance.
No ambulance.
You been driving the old?
Well, I haven't.
That's why we need a new one.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
You didn't crash it, did you?
No. It's actually doing pretty good. I printed out for you the oldest 4 ambulances, the maintenance records for the last 2 years and maybe this year up to date. The ambulance that we would like to replace has 204,000 miles on it currently. And by the time we get the new one, we'll have well over 200,000 miles on it. Which is what the commissioners and Mr. Ballmer over here asked us to do, is to get 200,000 on these before we consider replacing them. And we have done that. And so,
Well, really, the engine's probably got a whole lot more than that.
it's got a lot more hours on it, and we don't have an hour meter on these diesel units, but we really were planning on replacing the second page one that has 222,000 miles on it. But if you will remember, we had to replace the engine in that this last year. So we figured that ought to last us a little while yet with a new engine in it. So,
So you're replacing the last
the 2004, it's truck number 105.
105?
It's your top page. Your top page.
Oh, it's on, okay. Yeah,
It has 204,000 miles on. We've spent about $17,500 in 2010, 2011, and up till today in 2012 in repairs. We've spent a lot more on the second, on 1662, but like I said, that was paid for the new engine and things, and it should be in pretty good shape for another year or so at least. So,
just a kind of aside, the new engine, was that actually a new engine or was that?
no, it was a rebuild. I take that back. It was a Jasper rebuild.
Okay. And I remember, how long ago was that? I think I remember that discussion. That was when I was here, right?
It was in.
I think I remember this, so it had been last,
Yeah.
last year at some point.
It was last year, I don't remember. Oh, right here. September of 2011. Along with that, at the same time, I'm requesting this last payment on this DFIB that we made that 3 installments, so that'll be $71,000. I'm asking for $160,000 for the ambulance plus $71,000 for that last installment on those monitoring units that we want. That has not been advertised yet. We got it too late to advertise. The cost of a new ambulance?
What's your, what hasn't been advertised?
Neither has been advertised. $160,000 for the ambulance, and $71,000 71,000 for the final payment on the defibrillators.
So it would be a total of 233,000.
Then defibrillators, how did we do that, in 3 years?
We made it installments of three installments.
So we didn't advertise the total price
We
when
haven't
we,
advertised it
okay.
It was like,
I remember that.
it was a bigger installment first, and then it was
Yeah.
over the next 6 months, each 6 months. So we paid one in January, so the next one will be 2 years from now.
We plan on taking it all out of Cuba County.
All right, the 160 for the ambulance, I'm assuming that's completely outfitted and everything, right? Everything it needs?
Yeah, we use what we can off the old ambulances. I don't think we'll have to buy a new cot this time. The last time I put 150, and I upped it just a little bit because of the new engine with the depth that urea that they have to burn and stuff a little bit more expensive than things. And so I just put a little bit extra in there. I'm not exactly sure what that will come out to, but.
Just put your box on and everything?
Yes. We did look into remounting the boxes on these units, thinking that, because the boxes are in pretty good shape, and thought maybe, we did that years ago, and didn't have great luck with it, but they've come a long way with that. And it would cost us near $100,000 to remount it. And when I look at that compared to buying a new one, I didn't feel like that was the route to go. I just felt like that was too expensive.
Why is it cost so much to remount?
They basically just use the shell, they rewire it, they get it down to the bare, nothing, and redo the whole inside. They have to for code to get it, decoded and everything. So, like I said, we did look at that, we did ask for them to give us.
Who does that?
They're different companies, they bid on it. We typically have gone with AEB out of Jefferson, North Carolina, last several times. But, there are a number of companies that do it.
Motion by hands to go ahead and advertise. Right hands. 5A.
Yeah, Susan, on that, you did say that is our final payment on the defibrillators?
Yes, it is.
What was the defibrillator price again?
Cardiac monitors, we made 2 payments, and we will make the final payment here shortly.
And what was that?
It will be roughly, it's $70,348.62. We rounded it off. 71.
Okay, anything else? Anybody got any questions?
Come out of QCAP, right?
Unless you guys think it ought to come out somewhere else.
No, I think that's good. That's where he needs to come.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Mr. Steve Berg. We haven't given anybody any trouble all day, you guys, so this is a good.
When I come back.
I'm gonna fire a parting shot here real quick. Mark, what is that on your shirt there?
Cheese.
Sorry, cheese.
Somebody today.
You know what that is.
I know what that is, that's why I had to say it.
I know. We're sort of all over the place. That's what we're doing.
We're starting way over again.
I'm staying with them. I'm staying with them.
Okay, here to talk about edit funding for paving and get your thoughts on it. This is what we're planning on hot mixing this year. These roads, the townships where they're located, the start of the project and the end of the project and how long they are. Also have a date here on the last resurface that was done, and the estimated cost of each of these projects. We're looking at around $800,000 for those roads. We're hoping we get a good price. What we'd like to do is get a bid soon, and we're thinking
We've got a little fluff in there just because we don't know what the gas price is going to stay like it is. It's not going to be very good on paving prices.
We're planning on doing with our 100 engineering.
Is that a road surfacing term?
I'm sorry, we have a contingency in there.
I like that word, clever.
Well, it comes in under, it goes back to the council.
That's why our roads don't pass this man.
Yeah. But what we're planning on doing with our MVH, there's a little over 26 miles of roads that we're planning on putting a chip and seal overlay on, be a double chip seal, to try to buy some time. I don't know if you've gone out to the Schnellville Road. We did quite a few miles of chip and seal last year on a lot of our hot mix. Basically what we're doing is buying time, is putting a new surface on there, sealing all the cracks up, and it's providing another wear surface. So it's a whole lot more economical to do it that way. Doesn't give you the strength that an inch and a half would, but again, we're just kind of buying some time that is hopefully correct. But, we're estimating that the 26 roads, the better than 26 miles of road we're planning on doing, is going to cost us around $480,000.
I'm kind of curious, and not to get away from what you're talking about here, but did you ever figure out with the winter being as easy as it was and as warm as it was, and snow and everything, how much money the county saved by not having to plow and ice and salt and sand?
Yeah.
Is that something that maybe the paper can print or something like that to make people feel a little bit better about themselves?
Yeah, we need good news.
He looks at me. Because the last couple of years, we've done a lot of that, probably as little as 10, 12, 14 miles of road that we've done, with a whole bunch of patches and ripping, digging out the bad spots. This year, we're only like 2.8 miles. So there's been very few, which has been good.
And then my other question on that same topic is any of that money, or can any of that money that was saved there go towards these roads projects?
Well, that money that we saved is going towards these chip and seal overlays.
Okay.
We're doing, how many?
I'd like to see a number on that, or have one sent to the news media on that. I'd be interested in seeing how much that saved.
If I remember right, last year we did about, 15, 16 miles of overlay, or was it?
That's usually what you do, about
15, 16, so we're pretty much doubling that number.
That's chip and seal overlay.
For an overlay. The thing about the winter, like you had talked about, it saved us a lot on labor.
That's what the whole wax is what I'm talking about.
Now, the salt, we won't see any savings because we have to purchase and take delivery of 80% of our order. So we still have roughly 300 tons that we have to buy and put somewhere.
But where do you store that?
Well,
You can't let it get wet, right?
We're going to have to find someplace. Can't let it get wet.
Any storage buildings, any place up there by your barber shop or somewhere?
I could just put it in the basement of the barber shop. It's hard to shovel it in and out, but.
Dump it in, I don't like it.
You have to take 80%.
We have to
of
take
what you
80%.
got on.
Yeah. So we're not going to see that savings this year, but we'll be 300 tons ahead of next year.
As long as it doesn't melt.
Right. Yeah.
Wash away.
Yeah.
And then all the labor and.
The labor we saw. The labor we saw.
Where are we on the repayment of the distressed road fund? That's got to be coming up in the next couple of years.
Yeah, Jason and I actually talked about that this morning as you moved in.
So, next year we'll be able to reapply for the distressed road fund and repay it.
And that'll be a million up front, right?
Yes. So I think what we did the last time, from what I can tell, is we used part of it, we'll use part of it next year and part of it in 2014. So split it up over two years.
Now, we didn't do the whole million in 1 year. We $500,000 1 year and $500,000 the next year.
And that program is still available?
Yes. I know Davies County, I think, just did theirs last year, I think. Did Perry County do theirs too?
I never figured it out.
Pretty sure they did. So we want to check into that a little more this summer, so we're ready when it comes around.
Because that'll give you a lot of opportunity to
Catch up.
a lot.
Yeah.
Next, those 2 years.
Kathy, have you advertised this?
on that chip and seal overlay, which is gonna be what, about 26 miles this year? We're also experimenting with the heavy truck traffic roads. Down by, down by the Sportsman Club Road, where Sawmill, they go in and out with a lot of trucks, and we're gonna overlay that with chip and seal and see how that holds up.
I was gonna say, do you think that'll hold up?
Well, we want to find out.
You'll find out, yeah.
We'll find out one way or the other
Yeah.
what it's gonna do, because they,
About 8 inches of chip and seal.
no, it's gonna get the same as any other one. Right? I mean, and see, just compare. That's the way you find out, you know. Because we gotta do something. I mean, we're getting the same amount of, roughly the same amount of money, local road funds and everything, but the price of asphalt went up, double really in 10 years.
You know, the interesting thing about it with the distressed road fund, we had $1 million in 2 years to spend it. And I don't remember what those numbers were back then, but it took us 2 years because you could pave so many miles with all of that money. Now, you know, hell, we're talking 800,000 a year, and that's in a year, so that's almost, it's amazing.
What do these counties do that don't have that $800,000 that we can give you this?
Drive your roads, Greg.
Yeah, I've been in Martin County a lot.
There's a lot of them that are letting their paved roads, they're going by 5.
Well, I'm in favor of the $800,000 out of the funds. I have no problems with this. We got to fix what problems that we got.
We get a lot of people praying on Du Bois County roads.
My God, they better. If they don't brag on his roads, they sure as hell aren't going to be bragging on anybody else's. I guarantee you that.
We are above any of the other counties, our neighboring counties, there's no doubt about that.
We've got the best roads probably in the state per populace. It's just unbelievable how good our roads are. Just go somewhere else and you'll find out real fast.
Now, this is the normal request that you guys have for the last several years, isn't it? It's $800,000 that we've been putting into it.
It's varied.
But trust me, I want our roads to be the best in the state. I mean, it's not like I'm against that. I want that. I want them to stay the best.
That's what I was gonna, but I knew it was somewhere between 5 and 8.
Last year we got 600, and my first year we got 400.
That was,
And then I don't know.
Okay. Was that the year before then?
One year we got
Yeah.
800.
I know when it was pretty.
We did 800 one year.
Yeah.
And then 6 or 7, most of the other years.
I think it probably averages around 400 or 500 if you look over the last 10-year period.
Is there anyone that has a question or a problem with $800,000 out funds?
Not with that, I do have a question. On this, in Cancel, Road 64 in Zor, it's goes all the way to the Pike County line. Have you and Pike County decided on anything about the intersection, or is?
We've decided if the coal mine opens up, they're going to move the road, the intersection, into Pike County.
Which direction?
To the west.
Oh, the whole road's gonna be moved
Yeah,
west.
and they're going to mine through it. Yeah.
So they'll take out that whole.
You know,
The
the double
intersection.
90s, the double 90s going back to the lake.
Yes.
The double 90s are coming out and they're going to go straight south. Everyone's going to go straight south. So this, I guess there's a building down there.
I think there's a barn that's going on the side
That's
of
about
it.
where it'll come out.
Okay.
So,
That's on the
Are
Pike
they going
side
to
or?
be using this, are they going to be using that road then to come out to the highway?
Yeah, and we've got an agreement with them right now, but they haven't been able to sell their coal. So as of right now, they're not doing anything with it. But they said it could change in a month, and we've got agreement with some bond money already in place that if that happens this year, we'll put that towards that road. If it doesn't happen this year and it happens within the next few years, we get to use that money on other roads in the area or where else we see fit to do improvements.
Is the road good enough to use and knowing that they're going to maybe tear it up?
I don't-
And spend that money on this road? I mean, is that?
the road needs
It
an
needs
overlay.
attention.
It needs an overlay. And they did agree, there's probably half dozen places on there that needs patching that they're going to pay for it. So if we get the patching taken care of and put that surface on there, if they do mine, that bond will take care of anything that the mine tears up. So, I mean, the road will be in place by the time they leave.
And you look at the date that on sheets Steve handed out, that was last paved in 1994. That's a long road. I mean, that's,
Well, I think the cost of that road would be worth the whole road just to move that intersection.
but if they open that mine up, that's in the agreement with us, and they're working out their agreement with Pike County, but it's in our agreement that they've got.
Because even with what Pike County did, it's
No, that was,
still blind.
yeah. Yeah.
The only question I was asking because of that, if they're going to use that road, if it was advisable to spend $190,000, knowing they're going to tear it up possibly.
But I think we had them do some pavement cores on that, and was that 6 or 8 inches? 8 inches was the minimum, or 6 inches of asphalt
It's,
on 6 inches of stone was the minimum pavement section, which is pretty thick for one of
it's
our
heavy,
roads.
it's got a heavy.
State road.
Some places it's 15 inches total, so as far as base, I think if we repair the soft spots, I think it should hold up to the road. So. And if it doesn't, they've got it bonded, so they've got to fix it anyway. So.
Why show of hands advertise for the $800,000, right hands? Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark, do you have a number you want us to publish?
I'd like to see it about 300,000, but I don't think that's probably going to get up there. You know, because I know we had to save some pretty good money. And since we didn't have to buy them, what did we not do this year because
The Sanders.
the sanders and stuff, and didn't even need the other plows and stuff that we did get.
So you guys just need to buy snow equipment every year, and then we'll be set.
Do you guys have?
I did the same thing. I bought a brand new snow blower back in December, man. We did.
Where are you gonna put where are you gonna put this stuff?
I'm still thinking, I have new equipment. That was something I was going to talk with the commissioners about. I've been kicking around. I've got other priorities right now because we don't have to take the salt until June, so I've got a little bit of time to think about it. But,
Does that all come bulk?
yes,
It's all bulk, so you got to find it.
semi.
While we're on this, while we got there.
We gotta find a place to put it. That's a lot of salt.
Well, we got you guys' attention. If we would possibly come up where someone would want to sell a few acres out there beside of Highway Garage, would you all be halfway interested in buying? I don't know. Probably need to talk to this lady that owns that.
So what are you planning on using it for? You've got
Well,
Putting up a building,
another
store
building
salt.
out where we can store salt and get some of that machinery in the dry.
We don't have anywhere that, if you've been out there lately, it's, I mean,
You're
there's
just
salt
talking about like
around.
pole barn, that type, is that what you're talking about?
Right. And it's so, I mean, everything's so crowded out there, you can't really turn
Yeah, it
around.
is.
And I think it'd be a whole lot cheaper than moving to some other.
But didn't you talk about moving the
One
garage
time.
for a particular reason,
think-
one time?
Because of the 231, yeah.
Well, it's going through it.
Don't give up on that idea. Just don't give up on that idea. It can still go through.
I mean, really, I mean, then what would you do if you build a building out there and they finish the
I doubt it would go
project they
through
got
up there.
started?
Anyway,
we had,
What would you do then?
The plans I saw showed plenty of room around us that would have been left. Plans I've got from them.
Further south.
I don't think the latest plans even showed us them taking out any of our buildings.
now they would be.
Oh, really?
I think they backed off.
But at first, they were
At
They'll
first they
they'll
were.
move to head south and go around.
I think now the intersection would be up on the hill.
Yeah, maybe up Snow Road on the.
Yeah.
So then if you purchase this property, then it would have no effect on that road
It shouldn't.
Post on
at all? Not at all?
It shouldn't.
Post on still on that?
The right of ways and all that
The
stuff?
right of way, it depends where you bought it. The right of way is supposed to take part of that field on Schnellville Road, but further to the east.
To the east, up on that hill.
I think it's an 8 or a 10 acre field.
Well, I believe I'd be real careful and check that out.
But it,
If you decided
Well,
but if the state
Maybe
comes
take
in,
more
I
Give her time
see
by
about
moving
that.
it over some.
because that road may go through you.
Yeah, Mark, I'd be more worried about it.
I know.
I think, you know, if that was the concern, I think it's a matter of where to put your buildings, not necessarily the land itself, because you're going to get paid back
Okay.
when they come and take it anyway, so.
So
You
that's
wouldn't
why I
put a
see-
building and have to get it moved though.
Right, that's what I mean, that's what
Yeah,
I'm.
the map I've seen, you guys probably seen that too. It was
Yeah.
quite a bit up to the east on that hill.
Yeah.
You know, and we're down.
That dome building out by the county garage, is that something that salt would fit in that size of a building, or does it need to be bigger than that?
Oh, it would easily fit in there.
Yeah.
So that's the type of size, or smaller, that you're looking for land-wise and structure-wise?
It'd probably be a different type of structure. I don't know that we
You don't want to
need
do...
a dome. But
That's kind of a
some of the ones I've seen lately are more pole barn-like
Strange
looking
setup.
ones.
So you don't need sides on it?
Well, you have to have.
You need sides, you have to have concrete walls on the sides.
It's honed down.
But,
So they
but
can
the,
maximize space.
yeah, I don't know exactly. I guess they pile theirs up straight in one pile, but
I'm
we
sure
would probably have more of
They got
a
room to
long
store
line
out there to come
versus.
in.
I don't know that I want to mingle with them.
Mingle with who?
That might not be a good marriage, you know?
But, yeah, we're,
The storage volume
Definitely
would
looking
probably be
for someplace
close to the
to go.
same volume of storage that we're.
Oh, I know what
That
I want to
probably
ask, Jason, that intersection over at Hobbs over there, are they, you guys, is there anything going on with that yet, or plans on?
Intersection.
Yeah, we're in town, right there by Fletcher's up there.
Oh.
Yeah. Is there anything going any farther with that?
We've got plans about halfway done, and now we're waiting on the state on funding. We had to send a funding application in last June, I believe, and we gave interviews and everything. They were supposed to pick funding, and they've delayed it. Still haven't said who's going to get additional funding. We're getting kind of to the point where we need that additional funding to move forward, which is what I've been telling them, but they're blaming a lot of it on the federal highway bill, not knowing what's going to be coming in and going out. They were supposed to let us know something at road school, but they never really did. I've got a call into Audrey Blaisdell at the state, and she hasn't returned it yet, so I'll probably try to call her. That was about a week ago. I'll probably try to call her again to see where it's at.
I was just wondering where that project was.
But yeah, if we got the funding from the state, we could have that thing ready for.
We put several dollars into that already, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah. I'd have to look at our books to see how much we put in. That was I think it was an 80-20 grant, and we paid 10%, Holland pays 10%.
Yeah, we can meet you in Greenville, yeah.
Well, gentlemen, anything else you need to bring to us? Good. All right, thanks a bunch. Appreciate it. Thanks. Kathy, what do you got?
I have an additional appropriation for $5,000 from the rainy day fund for drainage of the park. It was for the house out of the park, was there additional?
Yeah.
So I have an additional appropriation for $5,000 from the rainy day fund.
Yeah, that's the code fixing the side of that wall that might be.
Is that the one you were concerned about, there might be a cost to it?
Yeah.
When you first,
Yeah, but I wanted the money appropriated or so that we can pay him when it's going to do this. It's the one side that the patio is banked the wrong way, and that water is running in there. That was part of the deal when we sold it, that I would see to it that got fixed. But the water runs right into the basement, to the house, so we're gonna have to take that little patio out. It's not big, from the door maybe over there, and that's about it. But then it's all out of the ground. Basically, it only goes up about 3/4 of the basement wall. And then they'll have to dig that out underneath there and then replace that. Yeah. So I don't think it'll be near that expensive, but, just in case it would be, that's why I asked for that. And then get that taken care of, and it'll all be in our past, and it'll be taken care of, and everything will be good.
I'll make a motion to approve the $5,000 additional appropriation.
Motion made by Martha, seconded by Jared. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried.
And then the last one I have is, this is the $2,000 from soil and water to appropriate it in to pay their technician that it's their portion of her salary that we talked about at the last meeting. So I've got an additional appropriation of $2,000 from the general fund for the soil and water project technician.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Post for the summer intern.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Barb made the motion, seconded by Jared. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
And then I also have the salary amendment for, or the salary ordinance for the soil and water summer project technician as well. And that's it.
Did you have to have another salary ordinance for the one there with the extension office or not?
I gave it to you.
Oh, we already did that?
I signed it.
Next meeting.
Oh, is it stuck together? The rainy day we talked about?
April 23rd or 30th.
23rd or 30th?
I may be out of town on the 30th.
Must be for me.
Doesn't matter.
23rd it is, huh?
23rd?
23rd?
Was anybody else planning on going to the AIC Southwest District meeting that you need, something you want me to turn in for you?
Where's it at?
Is it the Jasper Inn? April the 7th, 17th, fine, I think it is.
Yes.
I got it at home. She got it.
It came online.
Came online.
Uh-huh.
Well, you got it.
You also got a
in the mail?
flyer.
Yeah, she got it.
I could have, but I went online on that because somebody else had talked
I
about
was
it.
just say, I didn't get a flyer.
Did it at home? You should.
Yeah,
I think it's April 17th, I don't know.
Here, Greg, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
What's the date on it?
April 17th.
April 17th. Yes, it is.
I don't think I'll be there. That's my birthday. I might be out there.
Is there anybody that wants me to do the registration?
Yeah, I probably did.
It's just in the evening, like
Oh,
last
Yes,
year.
is it at 5 or
Pass that
around
down.
5 or 5:30 in the
And
evening?
it's at the
I do not need
It was a
that.
couple hours last year. It was a couple hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will there be a problem coming late?
No.
Like I don't get off work till 6 and I'm from Burton and come over here.
They may not even be they usually have like a social hour and then dinner.
Dinner around 6.
And then
I
they
think.
talk about new legislation, usually have a speaker.
Put me down for that.
Shane?
Yes.
I'm not sure yet, I'll go ahead and take it.
Okay, I see. Association of Indiana Counties.
Okay, and I'll turn yours in.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's it.
It was for Jasper and last year.
It's at the Jasper Inn again. I can email you after I make it, I'll email you the.
Is there a deadline when we can register, or can we just?
I need to.
It might be extra.
Sorry.
Extra. Usually there's not a deadline.